Do you think NASA really landed on the moon?
I believe so. I believe they've had bases on the moon even before that. And there's a lot of whistleblowers that say there's a lot of ruins on the moon from ancient civilizations. So it's like the Death Star. They keep on talking about the Death Star in Star Wars, the Death Star. But that's what it is. It's a spaceship. You know, it's like, it's there to, well, if that moon wasn't there, the Earth would be like just a floating mud ball.
Shambhala 2018, we are Hip Hop Vancouver, and I'm your host, John Z. And I'm also happy to be back at my favorite music festival once again. Now, there's many reasons why Shambhala is a special place for me. My guest today is definitely topping that list of memorable moments. He's battled and pioneered his way into a very special and elite class of human beings. Some would even call him an alien. And I'm very honored to be here with the one and only DJ Qbert. What's up, my man? How you doing?
What's up, brother, man? How you doing?
Great. I gotta ask, like, when you get called like one of the greatest DJs, one of the greatest turntablists to ever do it, where do you look for inspiration to keep you motivated when you're kind of at that top of that Mount Rushmore? You know what I mean? Like, where do you keep going to get inspiration and motivation to keep getting better?
I mean, you know, it's like we're all connected to the source, and it's like when you tap into that dimension, it's like, oh man, I got a long way to go, and you can hear all these sounds from your mind and from God, and it's like, oh, I got a lot of work to do to get that, you know. So it's never ending.
Are you still a competitive DJ? Like, do you still feel like you need to prove like you're one of the best, or?
I don't feel like there's a competition anymore. I haven't competed since I guess the 90s or whatever.
Right.
It's more of like a just improving every day, you know, and getting better. And it's not about me battling. It's all about people. You know, you want to make music for people. You want to make people happy. So it's about them. So you better practice to make sure you can make people happy.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, from watching your previous interviews and even just hearing you speak right now, it's clear that you're connected to music in like a deep spiritual way. I've even heard you quote that selfishness is the ultimate evil, whereas the ultimate happiness is to give. Was there like a certain moment in your life where like that became a realization for you?
Yeah, I was just reading a book, and there was this thing called the Lost Teachings of Atlantis, and I was all about, you know, Atlantis and all the, you know, they're kind of like seeing that right now in Antarctica right now. They're uncovering all the remains of Atlantis. Anyway, so there's this there was all these teachings of Atlantis, and I was like, oh, cool. One of the main phrases in there was the ultimate happiness is in giving, because it's like karma. You know, they don't teach you karma in school. You go to school, they teach you about, you know, you got to make money and whatever, get a job and friggin' die. Yes. You know, they don't teach you about karma, and that's a real thing. What you put out there is going to come back to you, and don't do it just because you want something back. You know, you just want to do it to make people happy, and it makes you happy. And of course, if you're greedy or whatever, it you know, it just doesn't work for you. You know, and then you know, a lot of music, they teach you to just go for yourself and all this and stuff. It's a very big hypnosis that's going on in the world. But from that phrase, ultimate happiness is giving and the ultimate evil is selfishness. That's pretty much all you got to know, and it works very well.
Here at Shambhala, you can really see the stars clearly at night, and they're shooting stars all the time, and obviously lasers, and you know, there's even been rumored UFO sightings as well. Do you think when you like a festival like this, when there's all the sounds and energy and lights going on, that could actually attract aliens to a place like this?
Oh yeah, I mean, they're all around us and stuff. There's entities that are vibrating at higher levels that we don't see, and they could be all around us all the time.
Yeah.
So, you know, there's different things. There's government craft, there's regular extraterrestrials, there's craft that have cloaking technology and they forget to turn it off. It's like, oh, there's a UFO right there. You know, there's all kinds of stuff out there that we don't know about. NASA threw like a 1-ton thing on the moon, and it rang like a gong for 4 hours. Scientists are like, to get that exact eclipse is a 1 in a gazillion chances. It's like, it's totally like, you know, it's been put there to keep this planet, you know, to have life on it and stuff.
Right.
And then there's other whistleblowers that say on the back of the moon it looks like New York, blah.
Right.
You know, and on the front of the moon they have bases on the front, but they have like hologram technology where it just looks like a crater. Man, I can go on and on about the moon, bro.
Well, speaking of life on other planets, what about reptilians? Do you think that there's a reptilian turntablist out there?
There's we all every single one of us have reptilian parts in our brain.
Okay.
So, you know, if you're gonna say reptilians, you know, we're all pretty much We are, but there's also deeper reptilians which is like the dinosaur race, which kind of like evolved from back then, and they kind of like melded with humans or humanoids. And there's those type of reptilians out there. They say there's reptilians that run the government, which are getting now evil reptilians that are getting kicked off the planet right now. Now every time we try to test a nuclear bomb, they craft turn it off, and that's why we haven't had a nuclear war. So these reptilians are getting like are getting kicked off. All the negative energy is leaving the planet. We got solar powers coming in, Tesla cars are coming in. A few years ago was hybrid cars.
Yeah.
Now they got full-on electric cars.
Right.
And now they're working on cars that are just kind of like whatever, you can party and you just like knock out in the back seat and the car will drive you home right after. Like it's slow blossoming of goodness coming. So
I feel like the reptilian turntablist isn't evil though. I feel like he's part of one of us.
There's good, there's bad, and everything in between of every race.
Right. Okay, so kind of switching here a little bit. Mushrooms or LSD? What's your go-to? Or used to be?
When I used to do that, I was more getting to more natural stuff.
Okay.
Yeah, as I'm also a slow blossoming. So at first I tried all kind of stuff, and then I started learning about being organic. And my health now is more organic, and I'll have to eat grass-fed meat if I have to eat meat. I'm like 90% vegetarian.
I got to say, just on your Wikipedia page, the only thing under your personal section, it's like career history, personal life. It just says Qbert became a vegan in 2011. That's the only thing.
Yeah, now also being vegan is great, but the ground is being like the government's kind of messing with our ground. So all the nutrients you can get from being a vegan is almost not really there. So sometimes you gotta eat a little bit of like grass-fed, grass-finished, organic, free-range meat just to get those certain vitamins in there.
So is there?
So it's going back to the mushroom thing.
Yeah. Grass-fed organic mushroom.
Yeah, I mean back in then, if I would, probably. But nowadays more meditation, and you can actually get there with just.
Naturally.
Yeah.
Right.
Sure. Because I've been there, so I know what it is.
So I'm just also curious, when you come to a festival like Shambhala, which is very like psychedelic friendly and like very trippy, like do you ever cater your sets to perform to an audience like this? And
absolutely. Yeah.
Knowing that a lot of them might be tripping themselves?
I mean, that's what my music is all about. I love psychedelic music. I've been there, and I still love it. But that's kind of like what my whole goal is, to make every song kind of a different world in a psychedelic kind of library.
Giant killer bees.
What's up? Want to see me go faster? What's up?
Now, two-part question here for you. In your opinion, how has the art of DJing and turntablism changed since you started getting in the game, and where do you see it going as we move forward?
It's pretty much it's pretty similar. You're manipulating sound with your hand. I guess it's getting faster now because it's like, okay, before if you wanted a certain sound, you'd have to sample it, press it on vinyl, and then you would get it. Now you could sample it and it's there already, and you can scratch it. And also the technology is getting closer to where there's like zero latency, and it's just gonna keep getting closer and closer to where it's But I do love 100% pure vinyl too. That's just that's super duper, like, if you want to get back to the organic thing, Play what?
funky. Keep it funky, funky, keep it funky, funky, keep it funky, funky.
My name is Danny Fernandez, aka Def3. The idea behind this truck is basically it's a mobile scratch lab, so we thought we could honor some, DJ icons. This project has kind of been a few years in the making. DJ Allgood asked me to, throw some kind of DJ icons, people that we respected up on the back of the truck. On the old truck, we did Z-Trip and DJ Premier. We started out with doing Jam Master Jay and Rock Raider. This is the brand new Turntemple 2.0. So, yeah, we figured, DJ Qbert was playing, so who better to add to the truck? I mean, to be honest, before I rapped or painted graffiti, I was a DJ and was a DJ for a while. And in the, I'm going to say late 90s, me and my friends used to watch a lot of the Invisible Scratch Pickle videos. And then, he's always, in my opinion, was the greatest turntablist in the world. I was always into, DJ battles and DMC. A lot of the stuff he puts visually behind, things like wave twisters. I just think he's a really creative dude, and it's cool to honor someone who I think was a huge part of DJ culture, and that every DJ, he's kind of like your favorite DJ's favorite DJ. So I think he's a well-deserving person to have this.
I'm curious, Qbert, when it's all said and done, like what kind of impression do you want to leave on society, on culture, on hip-hop?
Well, I mean, there's many things. There's we all can do beautiful art. We all have different fingerprints. We all can make beautiful creations to make the world a better place. And I mean, that's it. I think that's what everyone should be shooting for. And it's a beautiful thing to know that you have a certain beautiful universe within yourself that you can release upon the earth and make everyone happy. Getting back to ultimate happiness is giving. Like everyone got that power. They just got to do it.
Yeah. DJ Qbert, thank you so much for your time today,
man. Thank you, brother. Right on.
It's been a pleasure. This is Hip Hop Vancouver. We're at Shambhala with one of the best to ever do it. I'm serious. DJ Qbert in the house. Peace.
Yeah.